Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Lyle here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, now we're the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival. I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episode: Terrifying Tri-State Trilogy of Terror. That's right, folks. It's a Halloween episode early. So, Dragon, what are your thoughts of this trio of terrifying tales?
Well, it felt very appropriate for Halloween.
Yep.
There are a lot of things look, it was very solid. Obviously we're kind of borrowing from another kind of terror based animated tradition, but I like
Yeah,
the vignetted storytelling.
something about like a treehouse of scares or something like that.
Yeah, something I don't know, some vaguely scary tales. I don't know, like kind of. I think some people with jaundice tell the story. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. It was like something about attic of horror or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So this is I would definitely say it's a solid trio of Halloween tales, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
Yep. It's kind of funny how just recently we've come across. It wasn't just like this Halloween. We discussed another trio of Halloween episodes, or was it a? Was it? Well, the We Bear Bears was a duology, technically, right?
Yeah. Well, let me
Well,
think.
the
I'm trying to think.
sorry.
Okay, let's see. So you had, okay, I think we had Little Tabes. We had Little Tabes. We had Chloe turn into the Werebear, and I'm trying to think if there was a third.
Well, we didn't have Little Tays. We had the Osos.
Well, at the end we had Little Tabes.
Yes, but they primarily the episode was inspired by was basically the Osos and then Chloe turning into a bear. I think those are the only two in that episode. So yeah. Anyways, I was like, apparently Aquatad sees this on TV way more frequently than you'd expect. So that's kind of interesting. Does it appear more? Does it appear more often and like throughout the year than you'd expect, or like outside of Halloween, or vaguely scary anecdotes that occur within a house, quite possibly in a tree? Yes, that's what we're talking about, Aquatad.
Allegedly in a tree.
Yes, but yeah. So outside of that, Dragon. And you said there's another Charlie's Halloween episode. Is that one in three or in three episodes or?
It's also vignetted. I don't know if it's in three. Now I'm doubting the whole 3-2 thing, but maybe it's two.
Like I could have sworn it was only the two episodes, considering it was only they're only 11-minute episodes.
I guess.
All right, so
Well, again, Jake, we squeezed like three into this one. I don't know. It's possible.
Well, this one's 22 minutes.
That's true, but also, I mean, it's. I guess anyway.
Also, since I see way frequently outside the Halloween season, that is kind of odd. but maybe there's a reason for it. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we even open with a special intro. It's like, Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a Halloween special. even with a bunch of skeletons and creepy music playing throughout the intro. So Dragon, the episode begins with Mr. Macabre, played by British actor Oliver Chris.
I think it's pronounced macabre.
Yeah, you might be, but then why is it called the Macabre Bookmobile? Maybe Macabre is his real name. It's probably his real name, but Macabre is his stage name, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah, sure.
The Macabre. What do you think of the Macabre
See,
bookmobile?
I think you're thinking of Chupacabra when it's Macabre, according to this guy.
Maybe, but
That's what I'm convinced is happening here, but we'll see.
but the actual word is pronounced macabre.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's actually macabre, but I
Yeah,
think that I could have sworn it was like it's supposed to be like the macabre, like people say the
I,
macabre.
I think that's the way it is pronounced. I don't know. Now I'm having doubts about this whole thing. But either way, that's the way he pronounced it as the macabre bookmobile. So, what do you think of the bookmobile?
I love the bookmobile
Yep.
so much. I seriously, I have mad bookmobile nostalgia. So when I saw that show up in this episode, I got really excited. I remember as a kid they introduced the bookmobile, and I just thought, of course, being a fan of Batman is the idea of a mobile of any kind. I'm instantly just kind of like attracted to it.
Yeah.
But just I don't know. It was just a really
I mean, you were pretty adamant about me using that as the thumbnail, right?
well, yeah. It has to be the bookmobile.
Yep. I mean, yeah, the bookmobile is a pretty cool concept. I would say. The funny thing is, I've never actually seen a bookmobile in real life.
Oh, it's here's the thing: the bookmobile is a concept that would not fly remotely today, but back then, yeah, because it's like, hey, we're going to at least the way it used to work is they brought the kids onto the bookmobile. It wasn't like basically this is like a food truck version of the bookmobile. This
That
is the
sounds
update.
awesome.
No, that is awesome. I'm just saying, like, that's like the modernization, which I guess could potentially fly, but it's just the bookmobile concept was always this really cool, cozy idea. That, you take the kids, like the class, you bring them on the bus, and you just talk about books, and it's just kind of nice. But it's like like, hey, let's Pied Piper a bunch of kids onto them with the promise of the pursuit of knowledge, and just we could the car could travel.
I mean, if you could buy the books, that'd be neat too.
Well, yeah, I mean the best case scenario, you fuse the bookmobile with the Scholastic Book Fair.
I mean, that would be awesome. Like,
Imagine this: it's the Scholastic Book Fair. Is it in the
oh,
library? No. Go outside. And outside, you have like almost like a little fair set up where you have all these like food trucks that are like
oh,
bookmobiles
oh,
opened up, and you have different genres, different sections with each
oh,
bookmobile.
I remember the Scholastic Book Fair that came to my
That
school.
that's what I'm saying. What if you fuse the concepts?
Like, the thing is, like, near where I live, there's actually this thing every summer. Funnily enough, during the summer, called the Food Truck Festival. So it's a big collection of food trucks in a big open area.
Yeah.
Now if they if they had that with the books, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically it'd be what you just described. Like
Yeah. So
that would be amazing.
that's what I'm saying. Between the Scholastic era and just the bookmobile concept, it's just something. It's something you don't really need at all, but it's just cool. It's a fun way of dressing it up and just kind of bring it like bringing in the kids. Just like, oh my god, it's a library on wheels. That's awesome.
I mean, it would get kids excited for books.
That's pretty much it. It's kind of like the parade float logic.
It's like it's a library but on wheels.
Yeah, like how do you make the library cool? Well, you put on wheels and maybe like Korean into an action movie. I don't know.
Anyway, it's like, so
All
yeah, it's
right,
like
so we have our host here, our host, Mr. Macabre. He's the framing device trope, which we often have. He's kind of the de facto crypt keeper, and/or a Charlie, and that's kind of his role here. And we have a hilarious payoff to it later, which we'll get to. But we have like the food truck misconception, where the guy walks up. He gives a 1-star review very unfairly to Mr. Macabre.
1 star. Man, that burns.
Yeah. Okay, so who is our first? We don't. It's a shame that we don't really give these titles.
Yeah, it is kind of a shame, but do you want to give them titles or what?
Well, go on, Mister Superfan. Give him a title.
All right, all right. All right. I'm trying to think of one for this for
Surely
the
you've thought of this. Go on.
it's a Night of the Living Duck.
Okay.
I mean, that would fit in with the Simpsons, right, Dragon?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, what? I mean, now you come up with one.
Well, I mean, look, I would. As I'm saying, I'm
Well,
not going to match it up to a Simpsons thing because I'm not nearly familiar enough with the Simpsons to
I mean,
pitch it.
I'm not either, but I'm just. Or would you prefer like Night of the Living Plush,
Ducky play.
or just Ducky?
Hmm.
The
The full. No. Now I was going to say full Momo, but it's not.
full Momo.
No, it's not gonna work at all. I was thinking Child's Play because that's essentially kind of it's kind of a ritual of some sort that brings a toy to life. But
Ducky is Ducky is
well,
perfect.
that's the refined version of like the whole Child's Play thing. So that works.
Yeah,
Ducky. Let's go with that.
Ducky. Yes. Meanwhile, we need to think of two more titles.
Well, we're gonna see how successful that is.
We have more time to think of those.
All right, so Candace.
Is
Uh,
alone.
so so basically, this is a nod to Child's Play slash the Chucky franchise, where she reads an incantation from a book, aka kind of the voodoo ritual. She reads the incantation from a book in jest to Stacy on the phone, who's on the phone the whole episode, which is kind of a nod to Scream.
Yep, kind of.
And Ducky Momo ends up coming to life, and I gotta be honest, I love everything we do with Ducky Momo here. I love this first segment. I mean, honestly, I think we had three strong segments, but all strong in very different ways. And I think the best way I could summarize our first third here, this is the catchiest of the three.
Definitely has the catchiest song.
That's what I'm saying. The catchiest song is in general is just something kind of catchy and just kind of cute about the concept.
It also manages to be a little bit creepy, funnily enough. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's not like just like just only mildly.
Basically, what I love about this is that Scooby Doo rarely ever does this. But I love we kind of call out the Scooby Doo logic of think about it. Scooby Doo is a premise in which they get chased a lot, and the majority of the time, again, going just by mainline Scooby Doo, it's like, well, what happens if they catch you? Then the episode's kind of over. I mean, they don't really. Again, they're land developers. It's the question of are they escalating to murder, or is that the intent? It's supposed to just scare people off. So it's like what happens if they get them?
In other words, they use them for land development.
Yep, for land development.
That's not very nice.
That's not very nice.
Yep.
No, but seriously though, it's just that it's that thing of like as a kid, like here's the thing. Well, we get with like the Scooby Doo, sorry, Batman Brave and the Bold meets Scooby Doo,
Which is a great movie, by the way.
which is great. And then you have like the okay, wait a minute. Well, yeah, with Batman in tow, we can actually fight our pursuers for a change, which is very refreshing. Scooby Natural, same premise. We actually combat the thing that our dreads here. Now, mind you, we usually have like the thing of like, well, it's an actual threat that's trying to
And
kill you, but still.
and even Zombie Island, which is like they try to fight back, but then they realize these things can't be killed because they're already dead.
Yep, that was the origin.
I mean, I'm sure we've talked enough on this channel of how much we love Zombie Island. Not Return to Zombie Island. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But original Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, borderline flawless. Wouldn't you say so?
Yep.
All right. So Awkward Dad saying this short would be even better with some cursed frozen yogurt with potassium benzoate toppings. Alrighty then. The dragon. All right.
Yep. But yeah, so the to me, so it's always like the. Do you ever have that question with Scooby Doo though? Like, why don't they just run at him, or like why don't they just like actually I don't know like try. At this point, you think they would have known if like look, well, it's probably a guy in a costume.
Like, well, then they put. Well, let's just face it. They never act rationally and all kind of thing. Who knows? Maybe this person would actually be violent and do something bad to them if they did get caught.
So I guess my point being, I love that Ducky Momo, as we see, very harmless because it's a plush duck.
Yep, and not to mention Candace's lack of survival skills when she tries throwing things to impede its path.
Yeah, and I love this too. By the way, I love that we kind of have like when Ducky Mo's he gets in the house and gets like stuck. It basically the door keeps getting slammed in the Ducky Momo toy. It gets
It's,
destroyed, but it heals itself.
yeah, you're able to show like the eye popping out of its socket because it's a plush toy.
Yep, it's like the robot logic from Batman the Animated Series. You can do whatever you want to it, and it can be as violent. You can have Batman bash Captain Clown's head wide open so long as you show it's a robot.
And
It's a robot.
same with Samurai Jack.
Yep, same thing. We can do all sorts of violent,
You
Tarantino-esque stuff so long as
can
it's oil and not blood.
you can literally have like them shooting or like shooting oil out of their circuits, not
Mm.
circuits, but tubes onto Jack, absolutely coating him in oil
So long as it's oil and not blood, we don't do that until
until
season
season.
5.
Yeah, and that was all. And both of those end up. And thanks to Tartakovsky, both of those are awesome.
Yes. Okay. So I it's still, it's also, this is another thing. I mentioned the Scooby Doo thing. That's something I've always had with it, but it's also like an actual kind of a Chucky thing where, the Chucky's biggest critics have always like made the dumb joke of like, well, why don't they just kick him? Because he's really short. He's a doll.
Yeah,
But those movies, they really, that was the big, kind of like point they had to go up against.
yeah, and Megan's kind of addressed some of that with like, I don't know, you probably haven't seen Megan,
No,
but
I have not seen Megan.
it's actually pretty good.
That's or Mithrigan, however you want to pronounce that. But yeah,
It's Megan.
I know it's Megan. I'm just saying that is the gag.
I know.
Anywho, yeah. So I love that. It's kind of this thing where we kind of see. Well, yeah, she can very easily dispatch with them if she's actually trying.
Yeah, but she doesn't. Like she crumples up a poster and just throws it on the ground in front of him.
As someone who's had like an appreciation for the slasher genre, the classic, kind of slasher genre after all these documentaries up. Again, not firsthand. I don't have the constitution for it firsthand,
you,
but
you're more the behind the scenes kind of guy.
exactly, I thrive in the behind the scenes. Which, by the way, I'm desperately hoping they release that Chucky documentary on Blu-ray because I've seen it on. I did like the free trial thing on not. I think it was Shutter. Yeah, I think it was either
Well,
Shutter or something else, but it was like a
I
new.
I really want to watch like In Search of Darkness.
That's good. It's just really long, and I think there's like I don't know if there's like 3 parts to it or not, Jake,
There,
but it's really
there,
long.
there are three of them. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I like it when it's more targeted on like a topic. Like we have like we covered the big three, and all three of the documentaries cross over, which is even better because you have Nightmare, you have Nightmare, you have Friday the 13th, and you have Chucky. And the best part is they all have a central connecting point: Freddy versus Jason, because the director of Freddy versus Jason was the guy who did Bride of Chucky, and that's what got him that job.
Hmm.
Ronnie Yen, I believe his name is. So yeah, the point being, three excellent franchise making of documentaries, and they're all very different. They're all very great. But yeah, I really hope it gets a physical release because unfortunately I'm never going to be able to really watch it again unless because I honestly I only put on that service so I can watch the horror documentaries. I've already pretty much watched them all, with the exception of the very exclusive Chucky documentary. You can't even. Here's the thing: you can't even, from what I understand, I don't think you can even rent the Chucky documentary. I think you can only at least at the time I did it. I think it's still this way. You can only do the free trial things. The only way you're going to be able to watch it. You can't just rent it on Amazon.
That is weird.
That's the thing. Anyway,
So it's like so Candace lacks basic survival skills.
yeah, they do like a lot of nods to the slasher stuff with her here. It's post the shower, she's on the phone again, very Scream, and she's completely clueless. And then when she runs away, I'm running upstairs. The most logical place to run.
Yes.
Okay,
Most logical escape.
so best part of this whole episode. No, no, no,
No,
Ducky
no, no.
Momo.
No, it's just no, 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 Momo.
God, it's good. I love that.
It is a great song, yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
would say the music's always overall the music's always pretty good on Phineas and Ferb. Sometimes they have those songs that are like, yes, God tier. Yes, this is one of those God tier. you
and,
know,
and it is kind of nice considering some of the last few have been a little throwaway, but
that's what I'm saying. That's often they'll rest on their laurels with the music of like, okay, we have to have a song in there. But it's like you get the first time you hear Quirky Worky, and then you get something like this.
yep. It is. I love this song. It's probably one of my favorite Halloween-related song episodes from this show.
Yeah.
I mean, and Night of the Living Pharmacist has quite a good selection too, though.
Also, I love my favorite detail with the song is how we have like the little Ducky Momo chorus, which is the original Ducky Momo song, is played as like kind of a chorus.
Like, well, it's the classic, like what do you know? They did the whole thing of like turning children's icons into horror into horror before it became a trend.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
once again, the show was kind of ahead of its time.
Yep. Before Blood and Honey and Steamboat Willie.
Yes. I don't know. I don't. Did you make sure Ducky Momo wasn't set to evil?
Yeah, there you go.
I forget what that's a reference to.
Well, I think it's a reference. Well, it's kind of like the whole demo mode thing with Buzz Lightyear, but beyond that, it might be like the whole. Well, Chucky never really had like an actual evil setting, but
I mean, I know.
maybe it's Megan. I don't know.
It's not Megan.
Well, then fine. I guess it's in general it's a reference to
This
Buzz Lightyear with the whole like Spanish, the Kubrick Buzz, and then the play mode and the demo mode.
who knows? Maybe, but I
Yeah.
mean, I know I think there's a specific reference to like saying something set to evil, but who knows? Or maybe just Aquatash just making a joke. It was also a Simpsons reference. There we go. That explains that. No wonder it sounded familiar because I do remember. I think I remember that now from one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Well, there you go.
It's like Candace is running away from Ducky Momo, discovers it's in her room the entire time.
Yep.
Just after barricading her room. It's like, what do you want from me? And that turns out it just wants a hug. Which is, aww.
Yep. And then she finds out that oh no, the ceremony wasn't conducted in the moonlight.
But her stuffed bear, Mr. Miggins.
Which that's what makes it evil, and then Mr. Miggins turns very monstrous and basically kills them both.
Yep, that's how that segment ends.
Which begs the question, Jacob. What
Is it
time is it?
Dragon? I think I know what time it is. It's
Gritty
gritty reboot
reboot
time.
time.
All right, you heard the children cheering. Nice,
I
right?
barely did, but I know it was played.
All right, there you go.
Anyway, I don't get to hear the little children cheer.
Want me to do it one more time just so you do?
Yeah, just yeah. Life is good.
There we go.
All right, so yeah, so when everyone returns home, when Mom, Dad, Phineas, and Ferb come home, they find they find the remains of Candace and the torn apart remains of Ducky Momo.
Yeah.
Or here's an idea. You have an out and out battle between Mr. Miggins and Ducky Momo, and Ducky Momo keeps getting torn asunder but regenerates. But Candace not so lucky. Candace gets flung out the window.
But then again, how much damage could a stuffed bear do?
Well, you saw the teeth on that thing, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's probably plush teeth.
No, it's not plush teeth. You saw those teeth. It's
Yeah, I
the
know.
demonic part. Even
Yep.
so, fine, I'll play by your rules, buddy. Let's say they're plastic teeth. Still, sharp plastic teeth. I mean, that might be a worse way to go. It's just, he's got to keep coming at her.
Yep.
Like, she'll bleed out, man. That's not nice.
That's not very nice.
That's not very nice. You know what's funny? It's like it's kind of like what if you made Don Knotts chop onions. That's kind of what that line delivery is like. It's kind of like there's way too many ostriches, but you have like tears. Like there's way too many ostriches. Why are there so many ostriches?
Oh my god. Alright.
Anyway,
So yeah, she's torn asunder by Mr. Miggins.
Yeah, so we've killed Candace, and it's not even the second segment.
Nope.
All right.
So that brings us to the next episode. To the
Curse of
next.
the Doofenpaw.
Yes. That works. That works for me, I guess.
Curse of the Doofy Paw.
The-
Or, better yet, Curse of the Inexplicable Giant Floating Baby Head. In
that
hindsight,
works.
we in hindsight we probably should have found a sound effect.
Yes. Hold on. Why don't you introduce this segment?
Yeah, so basically, this is a throwback to the monkey paw. You know, this is the old monkey paw story in which you have something with. It's very much like a genie story, but it's a more horror-based genie story. It's all about the like the strings attached, and more so the very specific wording. It's be careful what you wish for moral via usually dried up mummified monkey paw.
Yep.
Yep. But here we kind of do a more kid friendly version of it. So instead of a monkey's paw, we actually make use of the weird random background thing throughout the entirety of the series. We address full on the inexplicable giant floating baby head.
Yeah, but apparently, as this episode reveals, there's a giant floating rest of the baby too.
Yeah, that's the sequel we should have got.
Giant. That'll be part two. The night of the giant floating rest of the baby.
Yeah, basically it'll be a shot for shot remake of Honey I Blew Up the Kid, but without the head.
Oh god.
It'll be very troubling.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
What was it? Honey, I blew up the kid.
Yeah, everyone always goes to like everyone's obviously the original's the best one, yes, but I really like Blew Up the Kid. I like
I've
that one more than the third. Here's the thing: the third one I remember nostalgically, but I could never fully get behind it.
I never actually saw blew up the kid.
I think I've seen Blew Up. Sorry, I saw Blow Up the Kid. I saw the trailer for the third one. I never saw the third one, but I remember that trailer on so many VHS tapes.
Myself. I've only ever seen Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, well, it's the best one. So you're not missing much. But Blow Up the Kid. If you're gonna watch any sequel, that'd be the one.
Okay. Like forget like Empire Strikes Back or Godfather Part Two. No, it's Honey, I blew up the kids.
Blew Up the Kid, singular. It's one kid.
All right, Honey, I blew up the kid.
Yeah.
Says I so forget like Empire Strikes Back, Godfather Part Two. It's like that's the real sequel you should be watching.
Yeah, sure, Jacob. Yeah.
I mean, that's just said if you watch any sequel, watch that one.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm
mean,
I'm, I'm only using your words, Dragon.
you've seen the other ones, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
All right. And good news, Dragon. I did find a thunder sound effect.
For the inexplicable giant floating baby head.
See, there it is.
Okay, that'll work.
And
So
my
it was a dark and stormy night, which makes me already think like it's Snoopy. Every time I hear that, I'm thinking about Snoopy writing the novel. So anyway, Doofenshmirtz has a trap, which basically gives us the new spin-off to Horse in a Bookcase, Platypus in a Bookcase.
in this case, the platypus is in a book.
Yeah,
It's
it's the prequel.
like, how did he get in the bookcase? He was in a book first.
Yeah, so like the platypus is in the book, and the book is in the bookcase that the horse is also in.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like the Better Call Saul of the Horse in a Bookcase series.
All right then.
All right, so Doofenshmirtz uses a baby attractinator, which basically is hilariously just a dangling set of keys.
You have to attract the inexplicable giant floating baby head.
So he rubs the baby head.
Yep. We do it if we say it the whole thing.
Yeah. Which means he gets 3 wishes that are creepily on his fingers, like little baby faces on his fingers.
Yes. And this first wish, he tests out the wish by first wishing for some tea.
Does he? He says iced tea, doesn't he?
Yes.
Jacob, I need to address the boys.
All right. All right. Hold on a second, and boom.
Dan, Swampy, I have a bone to pick with you over a detail that is so key and pivotal to the episode, and you both missed it.
There's no ice in the tea.
There is no ice in the iced tea.
Dragon takes iced tea very seriously.
How dare you both? It's literal. Okay, literal. Okay, so for the whole premise of this segment is that he has to be really careful and specific with the wishes. He said iced tea. There's the tea. There's a glass. There's a straw. But guess what?
Yeah.
No ice. That's just that is just tea
tea.
in a glass. Is it cold? We'll never know because someone was too lazy to animate the ice.
Dragon takes iced tea very seriously.
But seriously, semi-seriously, okay? We need to show that, okay, at least tested out the wish. It's iced tea. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not even like just like like a different beverage of any kind. I'm not just scrutinizing the beverage. I'm scrutinizing the very simple. I'm going to quote the Kingpin from Born Again here. You made a promise. Simple promises! Simple promises and very clear as day. Black and white, just like, where's the ice? I ask you.
Do you need me to get that sound effect too, Dragon?
No, no, no. Just forget where's the beef. Where's the ice?
Where's the ice?
It's like, it reminds me of.
What does it remind you of?
There's no ice. Ice is just a myth. I think Papa Meyer wrote that line on SpongeBob. He probably didn't even work on that episode.
What episode is that from, anyway?
Well, that's from it's the health inspector episode. It's
Oh yeah, when they're locking him in the freezer and they don't want that place to go into the freezer.
I'm trying to remember what the name. Oh, Nasty Patty. It's the Nasty Patty episode.
Yeah.
There's no ice is just a myth.
Should I drink ice? Should I drink iced tea as a beverage for the Batman's tangent? Yeah, that or save it for the inevitable ice cream one. Or Freakazoid, whatever one you prefer, because I'm sure there'll probably be a Freakazoid reference in here somewhere.
Yeah, there will be.
All right, so save it for that.
Anyway,
so Awkward Time, prepare your iced tea.
Yep.
And 6th member and leader of the blogger group, thank you for the like, I guess. All right. So
he's got 3 wishes. He made the first one, even though our boys here didn't deliver on it.
The ice.
Missing the ice. That's a blemish.
Yep.
So he basically makes a wish that what is he, stub his toe or something?
It's like, well, no, Perry knocks the bookcase over.
Well, I mean, but he did. He's kind of stubbed his toe in reverse, but
basically Perry pulls the bookcase forward and it drops like, "I wish I was in control of cheese and crackers," which is also a recurring exclamation throughout this episode.
Now, had that not been censored,
I can swear for real.
Well,
which is an appropriate reference for this episode.
Well, either that or it would have been like cheese and crackers. I mean, there's a lot of, you could either be a swear word or it could just be you could have been kind of calling the Holy Savior. It's basically Doofenshmirtz would have had control over over the cross man himself.
Yep. But yeah, like, I can swear for real is an appropriate reference for this episode, wouldn't you say, Dragon?
I would.
Yep, as we'll find out in the next segment. Now you've gotten me wanting to watch Gravity Falls. Yep, there you go. Anyway,
So I love that he's just rolling with this. So like over like a pointlessly wasted wish thing. So he basically has control over cheese and crackers, which he uses to attack Perry the Platypus.
Again, which Perry basically completely decimates using cheese graters.
I love the violence. Well, we already made our Batman reference earlier on with Captain Clown and the censorship. So
well, we didn't bring up the tea yet, so
right,
Awkward Dad still needs to save his tea.
yeah,
So unless he wants to drink it now, who are we? We're not gonna judge.
yeah. I mean, after that again, we already mentioned Batman, so you can always you drink it now. But
Or just take your next big sip when we bring in something else up.
okay, regardless,
So yeah, but again, they're getting away with like kind of gratuitous violence in this one but it's against
it's cheese.
against teddy bears and sentient
Which, of
cheese.
course, it does make me ponder, Jacob. What about the dancing cheese?
What about the dancing cheese?
That's
That's
still
a
one of the funniest out of context Muppet lines I've ever heard.
what about
Just with a straight face, Gonzo asking Kermit the Frog, "What about what about the dancing cheese?" Or I guess it was Kermit the Frog to Gonzo. Wait, what about the dancing cheese?
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh god. And well, this cheese isn't dancing. This cheese is deadly.
No, it moves.
It moves, yeah. And if you eat it up, you'll get very bad intestinal problems.
Well, especially if you're a lactose intolerant platypus.
Yeah, well, we don't know if Perry's lactose intolerant though.
Well, he sweats milk, so I don't think I don't think he's processing it well.
No, I mean, I think it's just like something people. You know what I mean? I think that's what they do.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it would stand the reason maybe lactose intolerant. They sweat out the milk. They can't have it in their bodies. They sweat it out.
I think I don't know why they do it, Dragon. I don't even know if the creators know why they do it, but
No, they don't.
well, I mean, I'm sure they probably did some
Well,
research.
we know they can't draw ice. So, I mean, I'm sure they don't know how to.
Yeah, they can draw all these incredible
They can
devices.
draw the animators and the whole crew of Face for some of those gifted, talented animation crew you're ever going to find, but they have one singular weakness.
They can't draw. They can't draw squares.
They cannot draw squares more accurately. They cannot draw ice cubes. They can't draw a three-dimensional like cube.
Sorry, I can't say much. Been racking my brain trying to come up with some clever titles for each segment. That's fine, Awkward Dad.
We'll just judge you silently. It's okay.
All right. So yeah. So yeah, the cheese and crackers again don't prove to be much of a. The cheese doesn't prove to be much of a threat to Perry at first.
I
Then
love the detail that Doofenshmirtz primarily has oyster crackers, but she's like flummoxed by like, why do I have oyster crackers? Like 6 boxes of oyster crackers.
they're probably on sale or something.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna,
mean,
I'm gonna go on a mini tangent here.
yeah.
I'm sorry, interrupting your point. Did you want to finish?
I mean, my point is that it's kind of like a relatable thing. Like you sometimes like buy a couple things only to reel. Funnily enough, like relating to cheese, like sometimes I go to the store and buy see a block of cheese, like, oh, I should use some cheese. Then I get home and I like I already have like 3 blocks of cheese. I'm like, I didn't need any more cheese.
By the way, I think the best cheese gag was Limburger. You're strong cheese. Get this bookcase off my foot.
Good pun there. It's a very cheesy pun, but it works.
Yeah.
Or wait, it's a very cheesy pun.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So mini tangent. I very unironically um, I love premium crackers.
I mean, crackers are good.
I know that's what I'm saying. Crackers are good. I mean, I love the premium crackers, especially when you get them just right when they're all brown. I love when they're like, but like not the whole crackers brown. I'm saying when they're brown, like as if there's like kind of like burnt in the processing of them.
I like Ritz crackers and like. Man, do you like Ritz crackers?
Not particular. That's what I'm saying. I like the plain saltine crackers called premium crackers, but when they're brown just enough, they're like, oh my god, it's so perfect.
I don't know if we have. I don't know if I've never seen a premium brand cracker.
Yeah, it's like a blue and white box. It's called premium.
Huh.
It's really good.
Well, maybe I have seen that. I don't know. I thought it was just like a general off store brand or
I
something like
don't
that.
know. I don't know.
But I like Ritz toasted crackers. Those are good.
I'm sure they are.
Like there's like the toast like the toasted ones where they have like sour cream and onion flavors. Oh, those are delicious.
Hmm.
Instead of an ice cream tangent, we're going off on a cracker tangent.
Yeah, you know what else is good? Again, no, I don't like it as much as the premium cracker, but just as a fun cracker, the
Yeah.
cracker that is on the precipice between cracker and cookie, the animal cracker.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Animal crackers.
plus it's
Nice.
shapely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone loves animal crackers. Even if you say you don't, you're lying.
yeah. Shirley Temple loved putting them in her soup.
Animal crackers in my soup. I think everyone saw that commercial.
Yeah,
You've probably never seen the movie, but you've definitely seen the commercial.
yep.
If I gained control of Cheez-Its, I'd be gone. I'd be gone within seconds. I mean, those are cheese crackers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like so he bring he brings out the big wheel, Parmesan.
It's okay. My favorite cheese is Parmesan cheese.
That is a good cheese, yeah.
So just mind you, it is great. I like it grated though. So seeing it like in the giant wheel.
Wait, it's grated. All right. Sorry, I need to make the most out of that gag.
Won't be like the giant wheel of Parmesan cheese just goes at him like either the Boulder from Raiders or the Spider-Man villain Big Wheel, whichever's easiest.
or the killer tire from Rubber.
There you go.
Have you heard of that movie?
No,
It's a literal movie about a sentient killer tire.
must have been on a budget.
Yeah, but I hear it's actually like kind of like it's like a horror comedy kind of thing.
Hmm.
But it's about a tire that goes around killing people.
Does he get tired of it by the end?
I have no idea. I've never actually seen it.
Okay.
So I know I'm not gonna do the rim shot for that one.
Let's keep it rolling. All right.
All right.
Okay, I love the toothpick Gatling gun that Perry makes.
It kind of it reminds me. The funny thing is, it kind of reminds me of the end of one of a Three Stooges short. It's like where bullets fall into the meat grinder and they turn it into like a machine gun.
Jacob, this is gonna sound really weird and really random, but we're already talking about like a Halloween episode, so I'm gonna go straight to Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
I because what holidays are meaningless at this point. Um,
I mean, we're doing a Halloween episode in the middle of April, so
yeah, it's all out of whack. Um, I love the improv. I love the improvised machine gun. My favorite instance of this I've ever seen. I still think it's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's in the Penguins, the Penguins of Madagascar special that they did. I think it was I forget if Trousdale directed or not. One of the Beauty and the Beast. One of the
Christmas caper.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So Christmas Caper, my favorite bit in that whole special is the whole short is when they like they're taking care of Mr. Chewy, with the little psychotic puffball like poodle that's trying to eat private. And there's this awesome bit where basically they take him out and they do this thing where basically right before they come up with the plan to take him, which is also really cool. Right before they do that though, they basically like I think it's the skipper Skipper Kowalski basically kicks this little peppermint dish, like little like a peppermint dish candy dish with peppermints. So there's basically Rico swallows them all, and then I think the skipper's the one man. Oh yeah, so Skipper does this. He basically kicks over like the thing. They all fall in the air, and then he like opens Rico's mouth. He swallows them all, and then basically he works Rico like a machine gun, like cocks him like a machine gun, and is laying down like suppressing fire while he's like. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Where you have again in this very kidified kind of scenario where it's like little adorable penguins, basically in the middle of almost like in the midst of the action, like Saving Private Ryan or something, where he's like shooting these mint candies at the dog who's like taking cover, like like just like going all over the place as if being shot at, and you have like the skipper voiced by Tom McGrath, just awesomely saying, "Kowalski, give me options," as he bam, 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 bam. It's just like, oh my god, it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I've
And then
never
it's like
seen.
Operation Special Delivery, and they have this awesome video of the dog's charging at him. He licks the candy cane, like jumps like slow mo and like hooks the dog. It's so cool.
I've never actually seen Christmas Caper.
Oh, you got to! It's really I ruined it for you, but you should watch it.
I mean, I'm sure I'll still enjoy it either way. Have you guys actually? Have you actually done that for like seasonal shenanigans or Christmas
Yes.
in July? Oh, you
Oh
have.
yeah.
All right.
Way back.
I like the idea of the first item being called Duck Duck Goosebumps. That works too. I still like. Personally, I still like Ducky better, but like with the title cover, but the logo style being the title and the style of Chucky. So to sell it
Yep.
anyway, but still good. Still, that's a good one, Aquadad. Not gonna lie, that is a good one.
Anyway, so now that he has the advantage, by the way, the other thing too with the Parmesan wheel, very Stephen King like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to imagine at some point Stephen King running out of ideas. He goes to like a deli or something. It's like a grocery store or something. Like it goes like the deli section. He's like, I'll take the Parmesan. It has like that little light bulb moment. Wait a minute,
Parmesan.
that's scary, right?
If you say like Parmesan,
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make Parmesan sound scary. It's not easy.
It's kind of intimidating, I guess.
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
That's not really. That sounded more like Ringo Starr than anything else.
Okay, well.
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
All right. Before we start figuring out different ways to say omelette du fromage, let's move on.
Oh, now there you go. Oh, wow.
um,
Omelette du fromage.
omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
All right. So yeah, Duvin has to be careful with his next wish because it's his last one. So Perry's like guiding him, is like trying to come up with different ways to have him say the right
Ruler of the tri-state,
like,
of the tri-state area, which of course no, that means it could be an actual wooden ruler.
Yeah, I mean, the ruler, like the yards, like
Monarch, butterfly.
like, the superintendent. Well, the superintendent, no, the head of the tri-state area. He could have just said the mayor.
Well, or you could have said leader, like leader or. Oh wait. Well, I don't know if he said lead. What do you think? If he said leader, do you think he actually would have been the leader? Do you think it would have been like a liter of soda or something, like a liter, like a measurement liter?
That probably would have been what would have happened.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. So either leader or mayor, or just
Yep. And then it's like the head of the turns into a giant, a giant.
Inexplicably, he turns into a giant floating Doofenshmirtz head. That's where we leave him. That's his lot in life now. He got head in the end. He's got an itchy nose.
Yeah, and dragging not being able to itch your nose is like one of the most unbearable things ever.
Yeah. Vanessa, honey, could you pick Daddy's nose?
Dad, what happened?
Well,
Well,
credits. All right, that brings us to
the platypus clones.
the purple Perry eater.
Or like And then, no, there's a better one in there somewhere.
Grapes, grape of wrath.
Grape juice of wrath.
Grape juice of wrath.
Yes, that's good.
I think that's the winner.
It's not a horror title. Grapes of Wrath isn't a horror title, but that works.
There's wrath in there. It's scary.
Yes.
It's not grapes of friendly conversation. It's grapes of wrath. Wrath, man.
Wrath.
It's revenge.
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 All right. Like grape juice of wrath.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the book. So
Also, we should mention too the books in all three chapters. The book is woven into the story. Like Candace is reading from the book, Doofenshmirtz reading from the book, and now Phineas reading from the book.
And Phineas has the book. He's like, all right, let's see. Make a doll come alive. I'd get 3 wishes. Giant floating rest of baby. And then all the kids are in the backyard telling scary stories. So
Okay, right off the bat with the scary stories, I was thinking of the scary story from Freakazoid.
Which scary story?
Well, it was in the
Is it the one?
it was in the Candlejack episode.
He's like, oh, dragon's gonna disappear any moment now.
Oh no! Well, I got time. He's chartering a bus. It's fine.
Like, just try not to say his name again, otherwise he'll go faster.
Anyway, so in that episode, at
Yes.
the beginning, you have all the kids telling scary stories, and their stories are lame. Talking about what if you went to reach for something, but it turned to wood. Then of course, Freakazoid takes it away with the whole. He takes it away with the what? Imagine a world where Sinbad got another TV show.
No!
No!
Oh God! I didn't. I just realized this segment has a character named Rocky, and my fanboy sense is spiked.
I think he's thinking of Rusty.
Probably,
Yeah.
unless there's a Rocky character. That's a character we missed.
I don't know.
I don't think so. But
No,
Rusty, I think he's thinking of Rusty Britches.
I think Aquatad had too many iced teas. They were Long Island iced teas.
Never mind, he says.
Yep. Never mind. Sorry.
I've never had a Long Island iced tea.
I hear they are good.
I hear that too, but I don't really drink the alcohol that much.
Well, nor do I. I don't touch it. So,
I barely even like iced tea to begin with. I mean, I like Arnold Palmer's, but that's about it.
okay.
You know what Arnold Palmer's are, right, Dragon?
Yes, I'm vaguely familiar with the Arnold Palmer, mainly because of that gag from the other guys.
It's basically iced tea mixed with lemonade.
Yeah.
And stuff is delicious. Anyway.
Brett Gilman. Oh, now the kids, everyone knows Brett Gilman now because of Stranger Things. But before Stranger Things, very funny guy in other shows like Blunt Talk and also the movie. The other guys, like Arnold Palmer alert, and he just plays this vapid There's a name for what he is, but it's a fetishy name I don't want to repeat. But
okay.
he basically, I guess the gentle way of putting it is his whole shtick in that movie was he was very subservient to his wife and wanted, basically was wanted Alan, the Will Ferrell character, as they're running from the house, you come back here and have sex with my wife.
I think I know what the term is you're talking
about.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
Also, Mr. Macabre reminds me of the criminologist from Rocky Horror. I can see that.
Right.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Considering Dan and Swampy bonded over Rocky Horror, I can see that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so in the book, they see, careful not to spill grape juice on a platypus or it'll make an evil platypus clone.
Yeah.
Which naturally Buford tests by pouring grape juice on Perry.
Which is kind of mean spirited. That's a lot of character for Buford. He's poured it on the animal.
Well, I think it's kind of safe to say that this episode isn't canon anyway.
Well, that's true.
I mean, as evidenced by when we get to the end of the episode.
So basically, it's the episode turns into Gremlins.
Kind of, yeah. I was like,
Maybe a
we're
dash of Critters, but let's face it, it's Gremlins.
kind of, yeah.
By the way, I love Gremlins.
I love Gremlins too.
I'm desperate to watch that.
I should say Gremlins also because
I,
I haven't seen Gremlins 2.
you should watch. I don't know if it's still on Max or not, but you should watch it.
All right, and I'll give it. I don't have my phone with me to check, so I'm gonna have to look later.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Honestly, that's the thing. I mean, I think Gremlins 1 is better, but I think Gremlins 2 might be my favorite because I think it's funnier.
I mean, it's more of a parody, right?
Well, yeah, that's the whole gag. The whole premise is like Joe Dante didn't want to do Gremlins 2, but he only did Gremlins 2 if he could just do whatever random stuff he wanted. That's essentially what Gremlins 2 is.
And also kind of get back at Leonard Maltin.
Yeah, which is again when I think of Leonard Maltin.
I mean, apparently he and Joe Dante are good friends, but
No, yeah, sure. I just do love his cameo. It does bring about one of the other great Leonard Maltin cameos, which is in the episode of Freakazoid.
which one?
It's the island of Doctor. I think it's the island of Doctor Mystico, and
Mystico.
and you have Tim Curry as Doctor Mystico character,
Of course.
and you have basically it's this hysterical moment where you have Tim Curry awesomely, it's the whole Doctor Moreau kind of parody.
Yeah.
So basically, it's him in the Doctor Moreau role, basically saying, he's trying to turn everyone into orangutan.
Orangutan.
Anyway, so with the orangutan, he basically is just like the power of Leonard Maltin. Just the way he says, the gravitas that Tim Curry says, Leonard Maltin. It is like every time I think of Leonard Maltin, I always think of that quote.
Is Leonard Maltin actually in the episode?
Yes, and he does his voice. He's in the episode.
Nice. Spielberg has pull.
Yeah. And why wouldn't? I mean, Jacob, come on. Why wouldn't Leonard Maltin want to be in Freakazoid?
I don't know.
It's not like he's doing anything. Not like he has anything better to do.
I'm just saying, was this in the first or second season?
Second.
All right, so we would have time to actually see the series then.
Oh yeah.
All right. So then I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, so the grape juice stain turns into an evil platypus clone.
I love the animation, like how like this literal stain just becomes the platypus.
Yep, it is pretty neat, and also kind of unnerving.
Because it's evil.
Evil.
Which is something that Buford is having a hard time grasping, according to Belgi, which is really funny.
What part of evil clone do you not get? Obviously, the evil part.
Yep. So anyway, the platypus is running amok and grabbing the grape juice box, so it is making more of itself, but very much kind of Gremlins-esque.
And of course, Isabella references aliens. She says like, "I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure." I always appreciate an aliens reference.
Which does bring about, yet again, gritty reboot time.
Gritty reboot time. Find the banner. There we go.
Yeah, so Isabella just wants to nuke the tri-state area.
It's the only way to be sure, Dragon.
Yeah, it's the only way to be sure, but still, just so again, she's always had that underneath it all, and she convinces Phineas to do it with her, and that's the only way she's going to be alone with him. She doesn't tell everyone else; she just goes to space with him, and like her aspirations are they're going to grow up and repopulate the planet.
Well, they would just nuke the tri-state area. It's not like they're nuking the entire planet.
Fair point. Still probably want to repopulate the tri-state area.
Oh God. All right.
Here's the thing. It'll be a thing where she just basically tells Phineas, like, "We're doing this," I'm just like, but Isabella, like the rest of the world's still intact. The tri-state area, that's home. We need to rebuild home. But Ferb's not here. Exactly. There's nothing to get in the way. But how do I build anything? We will find a way, Phineas. First, we rebuild the tri-state area, and then we see where it goes from there. It'll take time, and then, it'll be less problematic.
Oh god. I think we should end this to try and line of thinking. What do you think, Dragon?
I think so.
I think we've carried it to its natural conclusion.
I think we have.
All right.
Pretty gritty.
Yes, it is. So the town is being overrun by evil platypuses. Platypi. Plat people? You know what I mean.
Yeah. So we turn to Baljeet's mentor, who happens to be a cowboy.
Rusty Britches, voiced
Played
by
by
Say it.
David Koechner.
Yep.
From
Office.
Anchorman.
And The Office.
Yeah.
But probably most notably Anchorman.
Well, you're right. He was in The Office. I'm just saying, for anyone who's watched The Office, he pops up now and again. But
But yep, Anchorman, champ kind.
have you ever just for giggles watched the outtakes to the Anchorman movies, both of them?
No,
Yeah, it's really funny. The second movie has really good outtakes.
I haven't even seen Anchorman 2.
I think, honestly, I mean, look, I'm not trying to put down Anchorman. Look, Anchorman 2 is all right. It's nowhere near as good as the first Anchorman, but the outtakes for Anchorman 2 are hysterical.
Few things are, Dragon.
Brick killed a guy. There's no topping that.
It's like few things are as good as the original Anchorman, Dragon.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like the gags in Anchorman 2, again, pretty funny. And again,
70% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah. See, like, yes.
What?
I don't know. It sounded like you're grating cheese.
No, I was like scratching something.
Okay. So, by the way, I meant to mention earlier. Yeah. So one could say Perry, he cut the cheese in the episode.
Hold on.
There we go.
All right.
Anyway, by the way, Aquatet, every time we use the effect like that, you should be taking a drink.
Of the tea.
Yes. Which hopefully will have ice in it.
Yes, but well, he doesn't
Because
need
we
to.
know the animators, they're kryptonite. They can't. Much like the Pixar with the trash bags, which they're terrified of. They animated, though they're terrified every pixel. But
Yep. I always love listening to the commentaries of when they say it's of when they talk about things that they do as animators. Like another one was the leashes in Bolt.
yeah,
Like they said, the leashes made us cry.
yep.
Duly noted. Down it goes.
Well,
Anyway.
he's gonna have to do ketchup. He's gonna have to down the whole thing at this point. But
Oh, good. It's so they go to Baljeet's life coach, Rusty Britches.
it was a very friendly David Koechner.
Yes.
I love that he has a thinking bench. So, by the way, okay, so here's the biggest freakazoid thing here. Rusty Bridges' inclusion feels the most freakazoid of the whole episode, which I really appreciate. It's the idea he's got a thinking bench, is this random mentor that Baljeet has. As we stop the whole thing to a crawl just to visit Rusty Bridges.
And then even they're pointing is it just me or are we just pushing time here? Taking our time with this thing.
Yep.
Buford kind of points out.
So then of course he spills, he spills the moon. Well, I want to say it's in a moonshine kind of jar, but he spills the lemonade.
And lemonade looks good though.
Might be an Arnold Palmer.
Mm.
No, it's just lemonade, but still.
I know. But
wait a minute, Jacob. Did the lemonade have ice in it?
Yes, I remember.
Oh, so they can animate ice. Oh,
let me double check. Maybe check the wiki.
Yeah, is it ice or is it lemons?
But the real question is how many seeds did the lemon have? Because you can't have a lemonade with an odd number of seeds in it.
Oh, it's already been contaminated
With an odd lemon.
with an odd lemon.
Yep. So we all know how that works, right, Dragon?
Yep. Well, by the way, guess what? SpongeBob, show the animated the ice.
And yes, the The lemonade does have ice.
Oh, okay. We must have gotten the SpongeBob crew for that for this segment.
Oh, like speaking of funny gags, I really like the platypus. You know what I mean? Doing tennis,
Yeah,
which is funny. Like
that
he
was good.
needed a tennis partner, so he just duplicated himself.
Yep,
Anyway,
it's a fun mundane gag. All right, so the lemonade, the ice in it, spilled, and Rusty Britches basically kind of gets him on the line of thinking about sometimes you wash with the wrong brush.
going so that gives them the idea to since they're made of grape juice and dark magic, they should be suds up with soap. They should be destroyed with soap, basically.
So basically, they use these power washers, which essentially are proton packs from Ghostbusters, but more cleanly.
Yes.
So then we have the up tempo music gag where essentially, Rusty Bridges is singing like a doom cowboy song. He says like, "Come on, man, so let's get a little more upbeat with it." Like, oh sure,
And yeah, and the song's okay.
yeah, it's no Ducky Momo song.
No. And I think the one in the credits is a lot funnier anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so we end up going to the factory, which again, a little bit of a, I don't know, get some Chucky vibes a little bit.
And standard horror stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You want to go there. That's where the grape juice is.
And then it's like and then it turns out to be a grape juice box factory.
Yep,
How oddly specific.
yep. It's pretty much like Child's Play 2, which again, I don't mean to keep derailing us here, but it's just again that Chucky documentary, man, they really got into like the cleverness of the thing with that documentary is that Chucky, unlike a lot of horror franchises, they were able to keep on the same like the same creative you know Don Mancini. He was involved in all of those products.
Nice.
Everything but the Mark Hamill remake. Everything but that he's involved with.
And is it safe to say the juice is loose?
He's loose. Yeah.
There we go.
It's a very inappropriate joke I could make, but let's we're not going to do that right now.
I'm kind of interested.
Oh, that's all. It's horribly inappropriate. I can't tell.
Dragon, we've referenced BDSM on this. Like, how can it be worse than that?
Oh, it's worse. Trust me.
It's worse than that.
I mean, possibly.
I'm all right. Like, could you at least give me a hint?
Uh, okay. Um, possibly some, possibly some racially motivated crime.
What?
Possibly some racially motivated crime.
Oh God.
I told you it was bad.
All right. I'll drop it. I'll drop it then.
Okay.
All
It was
right.
in the '90s, kids. All right.
Oh. Different kind of juice.
Yes.
All right, I get it now, Dragon. I get it.
Okay. Anyway,
I might need another ice tea for the amount of Simpsons references that popped in my head this episode. I think
yep.
Aqua Dad just really wants an excuse to drink tea.
Well, it might be Long Island iced tea.
Like, well, either way, like I think he's just looking for an excuse to drink tea.
Yep.
So
Don't
hey,
look, Aqua. Don't use us to facilitate your iced tea dependency.
I mean, of all the things to be addicted to, tea is actually not too bad.
Yeah, and we saw it, the life that Uncle Iro led, having a tea addiction. It treated him well.
Except for that one time it was deadly poison.
That's true.
It's like delectable tea or deadly poison.
I chose wrong.
It was poison. Oh, God bless Uncle Iro.
Yep.
Hard to believe that just shortly after voicing Aku, he went on to voice Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, nothing but quality, that Mako.
Yes. It's okay, I'm a long way from Miriam Patakio, thank God. Well, she didn't drink tea, she drank smoothies.
Yeah, there you go. It was smoothies. See, Alcatraz already had one too many.
Yeah, it was smoothies.
In quotes,
I,
smoothies.
Yep, that you could hear the quotes, air quotes I was doing, right, Dragons?
Yeah.
Like she drank smoothies.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I was trying to do the whole time.
Yep.
But either way, it's like so. Yeah, it's like so the so
So Phineas kills everybody.
so basically so yeah so because the platypus you know what I mean.
They swarm them. They overtake everyone, and Phineas, being this little psychopath that he is, he killed everyone in the story.
And so our heroes were ripped to shreds and left to die.
Again, don't even need a great reboot on that one because that's actually in the episode, and we,
Yeah.
we have documented proof. Look at that, just completely unfeeling Phineas Flynn Fletcher.
And they actually get away with
Phineas
saying that.
Flynn, I mean.
Yeah, Phineas Flynn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, collective. So they really didn't rename the whole family. It's just him. Like that's literally.
It's the Flynn Fletcher family,
Yeah.
but Phineas is just Phineas Flynn.
Well, yeah, but isn't he part of the family though?
He's yes, the whole family is known as the Flynn Fletcher
I
family.
know that, but I'm saying is like with that in mind,
Phineas is just Phineas Flynn.
why doesn't he get a rename?
I don't know, like Ferb's just Ferb Fletcher.
Same question.
Same with Candace. She's Candace Flynn.
Okay. All right.
Are you getting my point? They didn't go through a rename, all right? Only Linda is technically Linda Flynn Fletcher.
I know that. I know they didn't accept her. I'm saying why.
I don't know, Dragon. Because usually that's not how step families work.
Is that true?
It's like, yeah, yeah, a lot of times when when like two families get married, like I said, sometimes it does happen, but not all the time.
Okay.
I know, like family, like the kids or family can choose to adopt the name of their new family, but it's not often. That's not doesn't happen all the time.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, go on.
So yeah, it's like so yeah. So they did. The other kids didn't like the ending, so Phineas decided to give them the Hollywood version.
Yep. They can't stand his bloodlust.
So he caves in and gives them the ending of Hollywood. Like so, we got for the sprinkler system, and who comes to save the day?
Rusty
But
Britches riding a unicorn.
yep, on a unicorn, and he's the one who activates the foam, the soap sprinklers. And Dragon, after everything gets melted away, what happens next?
Well, after everything gets melted away, Officer Concord enters.
Officer Officer Concord, the Juice Time Juice Box Flavor Cop.
Yep, and then they get into a wacky dance party.
like what? It's like, what? You saved my factory. Well done, everyone. Let's dance. So, Officer Concord is voiced by none other than Alex Hirsch.
Who?
Created Gravity Falls
There you go.
and voices like 4 characters in it.
He was wasn't he Grunkle Stan?
He was, I think he was like Grunkle Stan, Old Man McGucket, Bill Cipher, and a bunch of other characters.
Oh, so Bill Cipher's the little triangle guy with the hat, right?
Yeah, I thought you'd seen Gravity Falls.
No, I haven't seen it. I saw like one episode of Gravity Falls, and I think I honestly I didn't even know if I watched. I think yeah, Summer Week. I watched one episode of Gravity Falls.
All right, but yes, he voices Grunkle Stan. He voices he voices Bill Cipher, the triangle, and the Old Man McGucket,
All right.
and several other minor characters throughout the show.
Yeah.
And then they got him here to voice Officer Concord, the juice box, which of course but Buford then raises a concern with the story.
He doesn't believe in cowboys.
It's like, have you ever seen one in real life? Dragon, have you ever seen a cowboy in real life?
Well, I mean,
Mm.
well, I mean, I met Woody as a kid.
But he's not a real character. I mean,
But
he's not a real.
he
Yeah,
was
he's
a
not.
cowboy though.
Yeah, but he's not a real cowboy though.
Was he a cowboy though?
I mean, he is, but he's not. He doesn't exist in real life.
I mean, was he flesh and blood?
No,
No, no, no. Inside the suit, there was a man who was flesh and blood. He was dressed like a cowboy, the
but
cowboy.
he's not a but he's not really a cowboy. He's playing a cowboy. Have you ever seen a cowboy in real life?
No.
I've only seen them in Dallas.
All right. Well, I think we have our answer there.
Yep. You know the
So it's kind
Dallas.
of the do 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 do.
Yep. It's like dragon. So yeah, that's the problem. Is not the unicorn, not the dancing juice box, but the cowboy. I mean, and I agree. I've never seen a cowboy in real life. I've seen people in fedoras and all that, but never a cowboy. But that's not all. What happens next, Dragon?
Well, so after you mean our wraparound, right?
Yes, the final segment.
Okay, I love the final little segment here. So we should mention we had interstitials between all this with Mr. Macabre. So we see he's at like a bank talking to like a loan officer.
Yeah, he's like, it's macabre. I'm not gonna give you a loan to buy a macabre bookmobile. You have
What if I said please?
you have no detailed records of assets, no inventory, nothing you do as a collateral. Your stories don't even make sense.
So I love this so much. And again, this feels like kind of a cross between a Family Guy joke and a Freakazoid joke, and I really love it.
It's like your stories don't even make sense.
What if I said please?
That's not going to work.
Pretty please?
Get out.
Pretty please with a cherry on top?
The cherry, huh? All right, but this is the last loan I'm giving you.
God, I just love the idea he's had this conversation with him before.
It's like it's not the first time he's loaned him money.
God, just such a failing pursuit.
Well, maybe who knows? Maybe this time Mr. Macabre will find success.
Well, I don't think he's selling the book, so I think that's why it's failing miserably.
It's like, well, remember, he doesn't have the book yet. He's just pitching the idea of the book, of the bookmobile.
So let me ask you this: so your opinion, this whole time he's been, there was no actual physical book, but this is his pitch for the bookmobile.
Yes.
Okay. Because I bring it because I did think that too when I first saw it, but then again, I don't know. I mean, it seems like if he's come to him multiple times with this, he's been giving him money.
Or I always read it like this is just another business venture for Mr. Macabre.
Oh, there you go. Maybe that's it.
It's like this is the first time he's like getting a loan to open a new business or whatever, and this is like the latest in his the latest one, apparently the last one that the bank's willing to give him.
I love that he's so pitiable with the pretty please with the cherry. That's what they just take pity on him.
Like a cherry, huh? All right, this is the last loan I'm going to give you.
Mm.
And then we get the end credits. Or in other ways, also an exercise on how to save an animation.
Yep.
Because like Rusty Bridges is like all that's well it ends well, and then just falls down off of the frame.
Yep.
And then blows some dandelions. Logo ought to be coming up any moment now. There it is. And that ends the episode.
Yep.
So, again, very solid episode. Very solid episode. Very, very good trilogy of tales.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. So, any closing thoughts on this one, Dragon?
No, it was a great. It was a good episode.
Yep. Had a good song in it.
Yep.
Had some good stories. And, well, thank you, Aquadad, and briefly 6th member and leader of the blogger crew. So, thank you for joining us this weekend, and keep your Halloween spirits up because next week we're doing another Halloween episode. So, join us next week when the Doofenshmirtzes throw a Halloween party. Good night, everybody.